Hi, you guys. Welcome to our team call tonight. I'm really excited for tonight's team call because tonight Natasha is going to bring us all things Instagram tonight, which I think we're all super interested in because that's kind of where our businesses are moving. So I'm going to pass it right along to you, Natasha, so we can make the most of this time together.
All right, you guys, I am so excited for this. So I saw Jess posted about the team call and had all of you guys just say your Instagram handles, and I went and looked at a lot of them, and I'm just going to blow your mind tonight. So many of you are going to make so many amazing improvements, and they're really, a lot of the things that I saw are quick fixes, but I'm going to give you all of my best tips once I clean my glasses off. Okay, I'm gonna screen share real quick. All right, can you guys see my screen? Okay, so before I get into it, I just wanted to, if you guys want to take a screenshot of this or the video or the call is being recorded, you can obviously go back to it later, but these are the main apps that I use for my Instagram. So I'm going to be talking about these a lot. I would highly suggest that you go get these apps. And I said on here, you are a business, pay for your apps. One thing that I hate seeing is when I go to a Beachbody Coach's Instagram page and they have photos with their app's watermark at the bottom. Pay for the app so you can take the watermark off because it's going to make your page look a lot more professional. Facetune, I doubt. So these are the apps that I use the most. Facetune and Lightroom are the ones that I use the most. I don't remember if I paid for Facetune because I got it so long ago, but I think this one's like $5. I don't know how much VSCO Cam is. I would highly, highly, highly suggest that you invest in Lightroom. This app is $10 a month, but like I said, you are a business. Businesses pay for their marketing. They pay for things. So you are going, if you want to have a professional looking Instagram page, you are going to have to invest in some apps that are going to help your page look a lot better. So I'm going to talk more about Lightroom in a little bit. And then also grids. This is how I put my photos side by side. I know that you can use Pick, Play, Post. That one has a watermark on it unless you pay for it. And I also paid for Pick, Play, Post to be able to edit videos and download them in high definition. So I have invested money in these apps, but it has done wonders for my feed. So the video editing apps that I use all the time are iMovie, Pick, Play, Post, and I'm gonna tell you how I use these apps. And then also Filmora Go is another one that I use. I haven't used that one in a long time though. I mainly use iMovie and Pick, Play, Post. And then for my stories, I use another app called HypeType, which I will talk about at the end. I'm gonna briefly talk about your stories. Okay, so let's get into it. You need to have a business account on Instagram. And here is why. When you have a business account, you get to see all of these analytics. So I have figured out what works well on my page because I'm able to see what posts do the best. So when I go look at my analytics, what do you notice about every single one of my photos that does the best? They are all before and after photos. So guess what I post on my page the most? Before and after photos because they do really well. These also show up a lot in the Explore page. And when your photos show up in the Explore page, you get more eyes on your page and more followers. So it's really important to have a business account because you can see what posts do the best on your page. And if you're thinking to yourself, I don't have a transformation to post before and after photos, go back to the vital behaviors, be a product of the product, and go get yourself a transformation. Because if you don't have a transformation, you're not doing the vital behaviors. And then also you can open up your individual posts and you can see everything, all of the actions that people take. So 42 people saved these posts, 238 comments, you can see the likes. But on top of that, you can see how many people saw it from the home page, from their profile, from hashtags, how many people found this post from hashtags, so you can tell, Are the hashtags that I'm using working? How many people clicked on my website from this post? How many new followers did I get from this post? So you can look at your individual posts and see, okay, well, this post didn't look like it did as well as the one that I did yesterday, but I got way more followers from this post. So you can determine what does well on your page for what you're trying to do. And for like your call to action posts, you can see if it does well, because when you click on it, you can see how many people went and clicked the link in my bio from that call to action post. So this is so important. You will not be able to see this unless you have a business account. Also, triple check that you do not have a private Instagram page, because if you have a private page, nobody's going to follow you. And it's going to be really, really hard. And I say triple check because I have a lot of new coaches who are certain that they have a public profile when really it's private. So just double check that it is open to the public. All right, so first things first, we're going to talk about your bio and your basic profile. So on your bio, you have 2 spaces where you can have your name. And I'm just going to show you my page really quick. I have it pulled up. So you have your Instagram handle right here, and then also your name in bold. One of these has to be your first and last name. It technically doesn't have to be, but if it's not your first and last name, people are going to have a really hard time finding you. I remember Danielle Natoni did a call a couple of years ago about how one of her biggest regrets was she did not brand herself as her name. She branded herself as Fit and Funky. And by that point in time, she had thousands and thousands of followers. And she was like, I can't really change it. I have noticed that she did change it. So if you do go to her profile, you will notice her name right here is Danielle Natoni, and her name right here is Danielle Natoni. And I can't even tell you, like, I've tried to search for Melanie Mitro before, especially when I first signed up as a coach, and she's top coach, and I could never remember what her name was because she had branded herself as, I don't even remember. I think it's Committed to Getting Fit. But if you brand yourself as your name, you are going to have, people are going to have a lot easier time finding you. So here, have your name here, have your name here, so you are searchable when people go to find you on Instagram. Also, try not to have any numbers in your name. It doesn't look as professional. So let's say that I wanted to be Fit Mom Tasha, but it was already taken. I'm not going to be Fit Mom Tasha 2. I'm going to just think of a different name where I don't put numbers in it, because your page looks a lot more professional and you look a lot more legit when you don't have numbers in your Instagram name. And also do something easy to remember. That's why I suggest just doing your first and last name, or your first and last name and then fitness, or something along those lines. So those ones are easier to remember. And if you are like, oh, I don't know what to do, what are the Instagram names that you remember? Who can you think of off the top of your head, and what are their names? And try to do something similar to that. Like, I know, like, Amy Silverman Fitness. I can think of that off the top of my head. It's just her first and last name and then fitness. So do something memorable. And then in your bio, do not say Beachbody. If you have Beachbody in there, or if you have any program name like Lift 4, Max 30, 80-Day Obsession, take it out. Because when I go to a profile and I see Advocare, or I see It Works, or that crazy rap thing, or even if I see a green heart, I don't even look at anything else. I immediately unfollow it. So don't say anything like that. It's not that Beachbody is bad and that we're trying to hide from being Beachbody coaches. We just don't want to come across as salesy. We are not, yes, we sell Beachbody products, but we're not salespeople. We show people that these products work through sharing our story. So your Instagram needs to be your story. It needs to be you, and you need to brand yourself. And then also for your link, do not do your Beachbody link. I recommend using Linktree. And then if you use a Linktree, this is just a website where you can link multiple things. Don't have more than like 4 links on here, or people are going to get really confused. I try to keep mine to 3. I have my coach application, my challenge group application, and my vlog. So I've actually, side note, I didn't think I was going to get any challengers from posting my vlog on YouTube, but I've actually gotten several people who have found me through YouTube, which is kind of interesting. But try not to do so many links right here. Stick to 3 or 4 max. And I know that some people also do like do something that's going to offer value for people. So if you've made a Spotify workout playlist, link that in your link tree. And if people ask you all the time, oh, where, like, what are you listening to? You can just say, go click the link in my bio. I've linked my playlist, and they're going to see your playlist. And then they're also going to see all of these other things, which is really awesome. But try not to have too many. All right. And then your story highlights. I definitely need to update mine. Oh, shoot. So I think that it looks a lot better when people have icons for their story highlights. This is something I've been meaning to change on my profile, but I haven't had a lot of time. If you're wondering where you can get these, you can buy them on Etsy or go to Pinterest. I just typed in Instagram highlight icons and I put rose gold because I was just thinking of an example for you. And look at all of these things that pop up. So you can just search for these. You can find them for free, or you could probably buy a pack on Etsy if there's something specific you're looking for. Like if you want ones that are watercolored or with flowers on it or neon or black and white, whatever is your theme or whatever you do the most of, you can just search for it and probably find them for free. So I would recommend having the icons. I think that it looks a lot better and it's a lot cleaner. And that is the one thing I'm changing on my profile shortly. Okay, now let's talk about your feed. So your Instagram feed is your storefront. You need to be posting the best photos possible on your feed. And if you're like, oh, I don't want to do I don't want to do all my best photos, that's fake. You guys, it's not. Your best photos go on your feed and you can be real and show your authentic self on your story. When somebody comes to your page, your goal is for them to hit follow. So if you want them to follow you, you have to have a really beautiful feed. Like that's it. And within 1 to 2 scrolls, they need to know what you're all about. They don't need to know you're a Beachbody coach. In fact, it's better if they can't tell that you're a Beachbody coach, but they need to know that you're into health and fitness. So if you go over to my feed, you can tell within 1 scroll, look at all these transformation photos. You can tell I'm a mom. You can tell I like clothes. You can tell I do workouts, and you can tell I've lost a lot of weight. Within like not even 1 scroll, you can see that about my profile. So if somebody comes to my page, they're going to be able to tell right away, does this look pretty? I think it actually looks good. I'm trying to improve my own feed. And if I honestly ask myself, if I came to this page, would I follow this person? And my answer is yes, I would follow this person. So I want you to be honest with yourself. Would you follow you? And be brutally honest, you guys, because if you wouldn't, you need to make a change. And some of these changes that you make aren't that hard to do. So I would click follow. Let's see, be honest. Would you follow yourself? And you want to stand, let me go back in order. I post 1 to 2 times a day on my feed. I know that there's some people that post like 6 times a day and they say that that works. But if you're really truly doing your best photos only on your feed, you're not gonna the chances are that you're gonna have like 6 amazing photos in one day is very unlikely. So if you stick to 1 or 2 photos a day that are your best photos, you can post that on your feed. And if you are going to post a photo and you think, oh, I don't know if I would like this, or I don't know if this photo would get me stop scrolling, don't post it. It is better to post nothing than post something that doesn't really look good or go with your feed. If you're showing up on your stories every day, you're still showing up on Instagram, even if you miss a post one day. But I would aim to post 1 to 2 times a day. And then I would also vary the lengths of your posts. So I've noticed that the ones that I post that are like 2 sentences long do the best. So I try to do most of my posts really short. I do really short snippets of my story. Every once in a while, I will do a longer post, but I don't do a lot of those. Because I don't want somebody to come to my page and think, oh my gosh, this girl writes a novel on all of her stories or on all of her posts. I want to have varying lengths. And you'll also figure out when you have those analytics, what posts get the most comments? Are they your longer posts? Are they your shorter posts? And you can kind of figure that out because what people like on my page, they might not like on your page. I've noticed that whenever I post a food picture, like it tanks. Nobody likes to see my food. But then they ask to see my food. So what I do is I post it on my story, because if I post it on my page, it's not going to do very well. And then another thing, like I said, if you are going to post something and you're like, oh, I don't know if this is very good, that probably means you should post it on your story. You can post things that aren't as pretty on your story if you have something to say about it. And I would do lots of before and after photos. These show up a lot in the Explore page. For every 9 grid, a 9 grid is just 9 photos like this, 1 square. I try to do at least 2 before and after photos, if not 3. And I try to do all of them a little bit different. So some of them are front view, some of them are side view, some of them are my face. So I have a lot of variety. But if you scroll down and look at a couple 9 grids, you'll see at least 2 before and after photos in every single grouping of 9. And then hashtags, I'm not going to go too much into this, but when you're choosing your hashtags, don't do anything fitness related. Don't do anything Beachbody related. That's probably when you're going to start attracting a lot of other coaches. You want to think about your brand. What do you like? I hashtag right now things that are like about parenting and mom life. And I try to look for hashtags that have less than 10,000 posts. Or I look, what I usually do is when you type in a hashtag, you see the most popular posts, and then you can sort by the most recent posts. So I look at the most popular posts and I will click on them and I will see, could my photo be one of these most popular posts? So I look at the number of likes. So if I type in a hashtag and all of the most popular posts have 20,000 likes, I know that my picture is never going to show up there. But if I type in a hashtag and all of the most popular photos have like 200 likes, I know that my photos get anywhere between like 500 and 1,500. So I know if I post something good, it's going to show up there. So that's one. Everyone's going to be a little bit different. If you don't have as big of a following and you get like 20 likes per photo, you're going to be better off choosing hashtags that have less than 10,000 photos posted to it, because then your photos are actually going to get seen. And like I already showed you, when you have the analytics, you can click on your photo and see how many people found this photo from hashtags. And you want to stand out from the crowd. I'm sure you guys can easily go to like a bunch of other coaches' pages and you can tell when somebody is a Beachbody coach. They all post kind of the same thing. They all post their food. They all post pictures of shaker cups or they're energized. You can just tell. So you want to stand out from the crowd. You do not want your page to be like any of those other pages. And I'm going to show you a couple of examples of that. Okay, so how do I view from my current slide? Does anybody know? I'll just go through again. Sorry. I haven't used PowerPoint for like years. Okay, so here's some examples. And I'm sorry if any of these people are people from our team, but the don't people, I found them by searching Beachbody hashtags. So let's look at Amy Silverman. When you go to her page, she has a lot of followers. And here's another thing. When you have a beautiful feed and people can't tell that you're like obviously a Beachbody coach and you have a lot of variety of pictures, you are going to get a lot more people following you from your reach outs. So if you're reaching out to 50 people a day and only 2 of them are following you back, if you had a beautiful feed, you probably get a lot more people following you back. So it's really important that it looks good. Instagram is all visual. You want to have really good photos. So when you look at Amy, you can tell like she doesn't say Beachbody coach in here. She talks, her name is here twice. She has a link tree. She has her location. She has her blog and a couple other things about her. And then when you look at her pictures, you can tell she's pregnant. She likes to travel. If you do a little more scrolling, you can see she posts a lot of her workout videos, but all of her pictures have a similar theme, and I'm going to show you how to achieve that. And all of her pictures are all very, very different. There's a lot of variety, and it's really pretty to look at. And when I go to her page, I would follow her. And then I come over here and look at this girl, and I see keto, avocado lover, and teambeachbodycoach.com. I wouldn't follow her. I don't want to follow people who, oh, I know that she's just going to try to sell me something. Obviously, yes, we do sell things to people, you guys, but I don't want that to be somebody's first impression of me. I want them to get to know my story before I ever try to sell them anything. And then when you go look at her pictures, all of them look very, very similar. They're all of her and like another person or their food, not very good lighting, not a lot of variety. So I probably would not follow this person. I would follow this person. And then another example that I really like is Ashley Smith. So her name is also in here twice. I know that she uses Lightroom, which I'm going to talk more about, to edit all of her photos. Can you tell? All of her photos look the same. They all have the same filter. And she has a variety. So you can tell she's a mom. You can tell she's into health and fitness. You can tell she likes to travel. You can tell she works from home. And there's a lot of variety in her feed, and it looks really pretty. And then go over here, Beachbody Coach, down 5 pounds, posted of her Emerald letter. You guys, yes, that's awesome, and it's such an amazing achievement to get Emerald, but nobody wants to see it. That's something that you would want to post in your team page or show your coaches. Don't post that kind of stuff publicly, because also nobody knows what that means. Also, Shakeology cup, Shakeology bag, more Shakeology, 80-day obsession bands. That is not what you want your page to look like. And I'm pretty certain all of you guys would follow her, but you probably wouldn't follow her. So let's talk about getting your feed to look nice. So as you saw, there's a lot of variety over here. And when you have variety in the types of pictures that you have, it's a lot more pleasing to look at, and it's a lot more interesting to look at. So I'm going to show you, I'm not going to go too in depth to how I do this, because that's like a whole nother call. But I'm going to show you how I plan my feed out. So I just have, and you can do this on pen and paper, but I always plan ahead so I know what I'm going to be posting and I'm not scrambling every day. So here's what I do. I have an Excel sheet, and I always post, I'll take a screenshot of my last 9 photos. So I just did this really quick. So these are my last 9 photos. And then over here, I just took screenshots of random photos on my page that did well and that are kind of a variety. So I have pictures of my kids, pictures of my family, a workout video, before and after photo, me and my husband, a close-up. And then I also took screenshots of other coaches who, when I saw this photo, I'm like, oh, that's a really cute pose. Oh, I like that picture. I kind of want to recreate it. Don't get me wrong, I don't stalk other Beachbody coaches, because that is a big waste of time. But every once in a while, I'll go check out their feeds and see what they're doing. I don't ever copy what they write on their posts, but I get ideas, because it's kind of hard to think of things sometimes. I feel like I'm not very creative when it comes to poses. So like, I went to Angie Belmar's feed and I'm like, oh, this is a really cute picture that would be super easy to create. I don't have any poses like that on my page. Here's a really cute picture of Haley Christian sitting in a chair, which caught my eye. And so I look at other pictures that catch my eye. So here's how I plan. I'm going to do this really quickly. I have my last 9 photos, and then I'm planning on doing 2 posts a day. So I always do it in order. Monday, because your pictures are going to post like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I do 2 posts on Monday, 2 on Tuesday, 2 on Thursday, and only 1 post on Friday and Saturday, because I know for me, those are my worst days to post. My posts do the worst on those days. I still want to show up, but I'm only going to post once. And then Sunday I'll post twice. So I just go through and I figure out, okay, this is where my photo is physically going in my feed. Then the very next thing that I do is I will take my before and after photos, because like I said, in every 9, I post at least 2 before and after photos. Here, let me make this just so you can tell. So that's 9 and that's 9. I also try not to post the same type of photo right next to each other or on top of each other. So this is really important, and it's going to help your page look a lot better. So for example, I'm not going to post a before and after photo right here. So I know, because I have one right underneath it. I'm also not going to post another picture of my face right here because it's going to look too similar. When you have more variety and things aren't grouped up together, your page flows a lot better. So let's say I'm going to do a before and after photo here. Maybe it's going to be a Transformation Tuesday. And then this is just to give me an idea of what it's going to look like. It doesn't have to be the exact photo. And then my next one, maybe I'm going to do one here. So they're not next to each other and they're far enough apart where it gives some variety. So I'm going to post my first post on Tuesday and my first post on Thursday. Those are going to be my before and after photos. Can you guys give me a thumbs up if you're following and I'm not confusing you? Okay. So then the next thing I do, let's say I'm going to post, and I haven't figured out what I'm writing yet. I'm just getting an idea of what it looks like because honestly, you guys, you can turn any picture into whatever you want to say. I posted a before and after photo yesterday that was a coach call to action because my before and after photos get a lot of likes, and so I just talked about how part of coaching is getting results and helping other people get results. So I strictly do this first for what it's going to look like, and then maybe I can do another call another time about telling you how I actually plan the actual content. So let's say I'm going to do a picture of my face. I don't want to put it here or even here. I want to put it opposite. I'm trying to spread things out. And then maybe I'm going to do a picture of my family, which I haven't done in a while. And you know what? When I do this, I can see, oh, this picture is a lot of people. This picture is a lot of people. Maybe it's going to look better if I do a far away picture on top of a close-up picture. Does that make sense? So I can just play around with this and know, okay, Monday, maybe I'm going to post a photo of my family that I took over the weekend. And then I don't want to do another far away picture. I don't think that looks very good where I'm standing here. So maybe I would just take note, okay, maybe that's going to be a close-up transformation photo if I post a picture of myself far away here. Maybe I want to add in a workout video somewhere and a picture of my kids. So I haven't had a picture of my kids in a while. The last one is right there. So I'm making sure that I space it out and I'm giving my page a lot of variety. So you don't want similar photos on top of each other or next to each other. So that goes for before and after photos, close-up photos of your face, pictures of your body. If you were going to, my gosh, you guys, my echo is talking to me and I have no idea why. Sometimes, if any of you guys have an echo, sometimes like it creeps me out. They like randomly start talking. So I will just take random pictures and I'll play around with them. See, I wouldn't do that. Maybe I would do that there and do an outfit picture there and a picture of me and my husband. And then I can get an idea of what my feed's going to look like for the week. And I can even plan this 2 weeks out. It's not saying I have to take all of my pictures 2 weeks in advance, but I know going into Monday, okay, I need to have a picture of my family from the weekend and a picture of my kids from the weekend. So that's how I do my planning. All right, now let's go into photo editing. And I'll just make this big. Okay, so the apps that I use are Facetune. Facetune, you can do things like whiten your teeth. You can put detail on your eyes so they pop more. You can get rid of blemishes. You can do all sorts of things with Facetune. When it comes to photo editing, this is something, if you want your feed to look good on Instagram, you have to be good at it. And if you are not good at photo editing, go teach yourself how to do it. Go to YouTube. Go look up how to use Facetune and practice. A lot of times when I'm watching TV at night, I will practice editing photos to figure out, oh, what filters do I like? How can I make this look different in my picture? It has taken a lot of practice to get my pictures to look good, and a lot of business development and teaching myself how to use these apps. So go to YouTube, Facetune tutorials, Lightroom tutorials, how to take good selfie tutorials, how to take good pictures. Like, you can learn everything from YouTube. So when you're using Facetune, my biggest tip, don't overdo it. I've seen a lot of people who like botch their photos because they smooth out their skin too much, and you can just tell it is super fake. So don't do that. And then whenever possible, use natural light. If you go to my feed, I have horrible lighting in my house. Most of my pictures are taken outside, and if it's not outside, I'm literally standing right in front of a window, and you want to be looking into the light. You don't want light behind you. So if I had a window behind me right now, it would be way too overexposed. You wouldn't be able to see anything. So you always want to be looking into the light. And this is another thing. If you don't know how to light your photo properly, go to YouTube, how to get better lighting in my photos, and you're going to get a lot of tips. And then be really careful about overexposing it. So this is why I love Lightroom, which I actually just started using. If you have ever tried to brighten up your photos and you're like, oh my gosh, whenever I brighten my photo up, I look so pale. I look like a ghost because it just has really bad exposure. So with Lightroom, the app that you pay for, you can lighten certain parts of the photo. So for example, and I didn't post this because I didn't think that this picture would do well on my page. Here's the photo of my kids that I took at nighttime. So really bad lighting in my house. And with Facetune, I was able, instead of brightening everything up, I was able to take out all of the yellow in my photo. I just took out the yellow, and now it looks like the picture was taken during the daytime with natural lighting in my house. So one of the things that when you look at a good profile versus a bad profile, you will notice that the main thing that makes a profile good is the lighting. If you have like yellow fluorescent lighting, pages with yellow undertones or overtones don't do as well as pages that have like blue or gray undertones. And so one of the things I love about Facetune is I am able to take all of the yellow out of my photos. Even the yellow in my hair, I can take that out of my pictures and make my hair look a little bit whiter. And like when you try to change the saturation in your photos, especially since I started coloring my hair, I've noticed when I want to get myself to look a little bit more tan, my hair looks bright yellow. So I can make my skin look tan, but my hair look white, and it's so easy. It just takes a little bit of learning how to use this app, and all of the big Instagrammers are using Facetune. So it might take a little bit of, or not Facetune, Lightroom. It might take a little bit of getting used to on how to use it. But another thing that's really, really cool is you have it on your computer and you can download the app on your phone and they automatically sync. So if you want to edit some pictures on your computer, you can do that, and then it will automatically update on your phone and vice versa. And then another thing about Lightroom is you can get what is called presets. So presets are basically filters, and you can find them for free or purchase them on Etsy. So if you have an Instagrammer that you love, like for example, there's this one girl that I follow, and I actually bought her filter. I bought her Lightroom presets. She's like the cutest thing ever, and my computer's going really slow. But she has a beautiful Instagram. And so I just Google searched how she edits her photos, and I found that she was selling her presets. So I went and bought her presets, and I have tweaked them a little bit. But you can tell all of her photos look pretty similar. So if you go to like Google, you can type in free Lightroom presets, or you can go to Etsy and type in Lightroom presets and find a theme that you like, find a theme that you want your page to look like. And they're not very expensive, you guys. Like this one is $5. And there's a lot of examples. So everyone has a little bit different of a taste, you want your profile to look different. But this is a really good place to start. And also go to YouTube and figure out how to use these photo editing apps. But one of the main things I would say is learn how to take all of the yellow out of the photo, because when you have less yellow on your page, it does better. It's just like the equivalent of when you see orange and yellow, it's supposed to make you hungry. Well, people are more attracted to profiles that have more blues in them, or like blue or gray undertones. All right. Now, okay. Now, video editing in your feed. So I get this question a lot. So I want to post workout videos of myself working out, but you can't put filters on videos. And so I'm like, what can I do when somebody comes to my feed? It still looks cohesive, but I can still post a video. So if you go watch the videos on my page, you'll see this. I don't know why my computer is going so slow, you guys. Okay. So here's a workout video. You can see I have this, this is the cover of it, but when you actually watch it, it is darker and the lighting is a lot worse. People will watch my videos, but when they come to my page, I want it to still look good. So how I do that, you can post videos in either 1x1 or 4x5. So I will edit my video in iMovie, and then I put my video into Pick, Play, Post. And the reason I do that is because editing in iMovie is a lot easier than it is in Pick, Play, Post. And in Pick, Play, Post, you can change the size. So I've been making all of my videos 4x5. You can't change the size in iMovie yet. I don't know why. It's really annoying. But I do that to get my video 4x5. And then what I do is I will take a screenshot of whatever I want the cover to be. So for the one I did today, I chose this picture and I wanted to edit it. So I took a screenshot and I edited it the same way I did all of my other photos. So it looked like that. And then I went back into Pick, Play, Post and I added a photo to the very end of my video. I added it to the end, not the beginning. I took out the transition, so it was just no transition because that takes time up in your video. And I made it so it only showed my photo for 0.2 seconds. So then when I went to go post it on Instagram, I went to post and I went over to cover and I slid the thing all the way to the end because you can choose your cover photo, and I slid it to that 0.2 seconds of where I posted this photo. So when I posted it, this showed up as my cover photo. And I also took the pan off. Pan is when it like zooms in or zooms out. So that's how I get my videos to show up. When you go to my page, it looks like they're edited with that filter. It's just a little trick. They're really not. Okay. Very last thing I'm going to talk about, and then I'm going to open it up to questions. And if we have some time, I'm going to go critique some pages, is stories. So I'm not going to go too in depth into this. These are the questions that I get most. How do I do my workout videos and my stories? And then just another tip that I have for you. So for my workout videos, I don't use the Instagram record function. I actually have started putting my phone on airplane mode when I am working out so I don't get distracted. And I will just record them on my camera roll. Then I edit them in iMovie. And then there's different apps that you can use to chop your video up into 15-second increments. I just do it manually. You can, when you save it to your camera roll, if you have an iPhone, you can shorten the lengths of the video. The reason I just do it manually is so I end between moves and not like halfway between like a jumping jack or something. Just think that it's just my own personal preference. You can use one of those other apps to split it up. And then I will put it into HypeType, which is just another app, and you can add music to it. You can add words to it. If you want to add music but not words, I don't believe it has that function. So what I do is if I want to add music and no words, I will just type in a period and I will make it really, really, really small and I'll put it up in the corner so you can't even see it. And then I just have music to my videos. And then my other tip for you is talking videos. I want you to think about how do you use Instagram. And when you're looking at stories, I can almost guarantee you that if somebody is talking for too many stories in a row, you just swipe to the next story. So I would not do more than 3 talking stories in a row, and even less if you have less followers. And the reason for that is if you have more followers, you've built up more credibility and you have more people that are watching your stories daily, so you can get away with doing a little bit more. But if you have less followers, I would stick to 1 to 2 tops. Vary your stories with talking, workouts, pictures, boomerangs. You're going to get a lot more people watching them than if you were to be just posting tons and tons and tons of you talking, because nobody wants, like, no offense, but nobody wants to watch you talking all day. And if you are talking, this is my best tip for you, is to add writing, GIFs or whatever, polls, add things to you talking that are going to keep people engaged. And the reason for this is I know when I watch stories, 90% of the time I don't have my sound on. So if somebody's talking and my sound's not on, I'm just going to swipe away. But if somebody's talking and they have something else for me to do on their story, or something that gets me intrigued, I might turn on my volume, or I'm more likely to stay at their story. So for example, I did a talking video today and I wrote, I'm so embarrassed, because I figured if somebody's watching me talking, if they see that, they might not swipe away. In fact, they might turn on their volume to see why I'm so embarrassed. Or when I'm talking, I will do polls. So in this one, I'm talking about my hair because I dyed it pink and it turned orange. And so I asked them while I was talking about my hair, what should I do? Go back to blonde or wash it out and try purple? So people are engaged when I'm talking, whether or not their volume is on or not. But I'm trying to give them other stuff to do so they don't get bored and be like, oh, she's talking forever, I'm just going to the next person. And then at the end of the day, watch your own story and see what you do. Because sometimes I will watch my story and I get bored. I'm like, okay, why am I bored right now? I'm probably talking too much, or I'm probably posting too much of the same thing. I need to fix that tomorrow. So I always watch my own story back and see what do I like. And I also pay attention to what people say, because sometimes I post things and I get tons of messages even when I don't ask for that. Like yesterday, for example, I was driving my kids home. I was driving my daughter home from summer camp, and she would not shut up. She just talks. If you guys have like toddlers or 4-year-olds, you know exactly what I mean. And I turned the volume up so I couldn't hear her. And I was at a stoplight and I took a video and I wrote, like, when you turn the volume up until your kids get the point to shut up. And I had like 50 people message me and they were like, I thought I was the only one that did that. And I found out that I'm not the worst mom ever, because I literally turned up my music until I couldn't hear my daughter because she was annoying me. But a lot of people could relate to that. So I take note of those things and I'm going to post more of those things. All right. So that is what I have for you guys today. Hope you got a lot of really amazing tips. And now I'm looking in the comments for questions. Jenna asked, how do you check that? Jenna, I have no idea what you're talking about. It was way in the beginning. So if you could clarify. Oh, wait, was it talking about how do you check your analytics? Oh, if you have a business account or not? I think it's in your settings. It will tell you. But if you see that you can't, if you can't look at your analytics, you don't have a business account. So if you go to your settings, mine just says business settings. So I don't, and it says switch back to personal account. So I'm guessing that you have under your options, it might say switch to business account. Can you make them on Canva? I don't know what that is. Probably. Planoly is a good app. Yeah, so Planoly, you can like plan out your Instagram posts. And I think you can actually schedule things out on Planoly too. And then another thing that I wanted to talk about just really quickly is consistency. So like, I think that profiles look better when photos don't have writing on them. So I don't put, and I used to, you guys, a lot of these things I've learned the hard way. I used to have like a horrible profile and I used to do all these things. I've deleted a lot of it. But I've learned. So like the only time I ever have writing on my photos is when I post a before and after photo. And when I do put writing on it, I do it the exact same font, the exact same place every single time. So I have consistency throughout my page. And I don't always put that on my before and after photos. And another thing is like quotes. Quotes don't do very well on my Instagram feed. Some people, quotes do really amazing. But if you're going to do it, make sure that you are doing it consistently. You don't have like one in every 30 pictures. Make sure you have one in every 9 grid. So when somebody's scrolling, they say, oh, this person posts a lot of inspirational quotes. But I've noticed that a lot of times photos with a lot of writing on it, it doesn't look as good. It doesn't look as professional. So if you have a quote that you don't want to post, but you like the quote, post a different picture and put the quote as your caption. Do I use Lightroom on my phone or my computer? Both. I usually use it on my phone. So like I said, I have those presets saved. So I can open up a photo in Lightroom. And then I just go over to my presets and it's basically like a filter. And then I can, like, depending on the picture, I just tweak a little bit. So usually the things that I change is I increase the exposure and then I'll change my skin tone because my skin tone looks different depending on which lighting I'm in, and I want to try and get it to look consistent throughout my feed. And so you change that by going to your colors, and you can choose the specific color that you want to edit in your photo. So for your skin tone, it's orange. You can increase the saturation or decrease it. You can change the hue so it's like a little bit less yellow and a little bit more pink, or if your skin looks really red, you can get it a little bit more yellow. And then if you go to yellow, like if you look on my pictures, I don't know if you can see this. So on my yellow, I just take the saturation all the way out. So my walls always look white because my entire house is beige and I hate it. I hate my beige house. When I move, I'm only moving somewhere with gray walls and white trim. But I take out all of the yellow, and it takes out all of like the weird lighting too. When I make a poll on my stories, how do you check who answered your poll? When you go to your story and I think you just swipe up from your story, and you swipe up from your story, you can see who are all the people that viewed your story, and if people answered your polls, you can see who answered what. Yes, presets can be added to your phone. So like I said, anything that, so if you get presets over on Etsy, anything on your Lightroom on your computer, if you have download the app on your phone and sign into your account, it will sync up with each other. So any preset on your computer will also go to your phone. It used to be different. That's something that they actually recently changed. But I would play around with that. Usually presets will come in packs, and you'll find that like for my feed recently, I've been using different filters because I noticed like one filter looks better outside when I'm outside, and one filter looks better when I'm inside. But when you put them next to each other, they still look very cohesive. So a lot of times they'll come in packs. And maybe we can do another call and I can help you guys figure out how to use them and like what things to change. Especially since you can screen share and I can see on your computer exactly what you're doing. So do I prefer presets over just doing your own in the app? Yes, because when you have a preset, your feed is gonna look better. So like, for example, it just has like a theme to it. And when an Instagram page has a theme, it just looks better and you're going to get more followers. So like when you look at Ashley Smith, when you look at her Instagram, you can clearly tell she edits all of her pictures the same way, and she has a very pretty theme because you want it to look good both in individual pictures, but also when you're looking at it as a whole. And that's why I said it's really important to plan out so you know that you're not putting similar photos next to each other. One thing that I noticed a lot of people did when I was looking at your Instagram pages is a lot of people have like really close up photos for 3 photos in a row. That doesn't look very good. You need to space it out. I've had Lightroom for a while now and wasn't sure how to get presets. Yeah, but definitely use those because having presets and having like your page look good, that is one really simple thing that you can do that's going to make your page look 100 times better. And then another thing, like I said, how when I'm planning out my page, I'll look for other posts and poses that I like. So when I'm scrolling Instagram, if I see something I like, I save it. Because you know how you can save posts now? So when I'm going to plan for the week, I can go just look at my saved posts and see, oh, what did I like this week? And have a bunch of ideas to choose from. Good. I'm glad you guys have learned so much. Okay. That do not have a flow, what do you do about existing photos that do not? Okay, so if somebody's just starting out, this is what I would recommend, and it's a little bit harder. So when I was changing my Instagram theme, if you go to my feed, you'll notice like within a couple of scrolls, it looks way different. And so what I did is I just posted more photos a day. So I was posting 3 photos a day until I had 2 9 grids. So within like a week and a half, it already looked a lot better. Yes, it took a little bit of time. And now that I like have it looking the way that I want, I can go back to posting once or twice a day. And you can even like take existing photos and repost them. And when you repost them, delete the old one. Does that answer your question, Sam? Another thing that I really like when people do, but I am not like coordinated enough to do this. Some people, if you use a certain color a lot, so for example, like Lisa, she always is wearing coral or teal. Like her brand has a color. So when you go to her page, or something that you can do if you have a lot of one color, like if you own a lot of pink things or if you own a lot of blue things, you can give your Instagram feed a theme, like a color theme. So like I was looking at Samantha's and I noticed a lot of her photos had black in it. So her page would look really good if she made sure that in every single picture she had like one really black thing, because that's going to give her page like a black and white theme, and it's going to look really consistent and it's going to look really good. I know there's a coach, let me screen share again, who does this really well. And she also edits her photos this way. So Jade Raymond, you can tell she has a black and white theme. In all of her pictures, she either has something black or something white. And you can tell like in certain photos that she has, like she will make things black and white if it doesn't match. So for example, I don't know, like she posted a photo once in her workout room or something. Like right here, I almost guarantee you, like these books, they're probably not black and white. She probably like made them black and white, and you can do that with photo editing. But she made like the teal colors pop and then black and white. So all of that is stuff that you can do in Lightroom. But like when you're taking pictures, you can tell she wears a lot of black, so she puts black in every single photo. And when you scroll her feed, it looks very cohesive and very pretty. But she reminds me of you, Samantha. I feel like you could get your feed to look like that. And like you can tell, I already closed my screen share, but on her Instagram highlights, they were also black and white. Like it just matched with her page. But not everybody is black and white. Like I said, Lisa is coral and teal, so she would not obviously not do that with her pictures. So everyone has their own style. Her name's Jade Raymond, and she's actually, I think she's from Wenatchee. She's like within Washington. Okay. Any other questions? So what I want to do is, for those of you that don't know, I used to be a teacher. And one of the things that really helps with teaching is having people teach you. So what I want you to do is I have picked 3 people's Instagram profiles, and what I want you to do, I'm going to do a screen share, and you can also go look at them on your phone, but I want you to type in the comments things that they should change about their page. And if your profile got chosen, this is not to be mean, this is to help you get better. So don't take anything personally, because we want you to be successful. So what I want you to do is I'm going to screen share and say like what you would change. And I'm sure that a lot of you are thinking right now, like, oh my gosh, I have so many things I need to change. And before I screen share, the last thing I want to say is if you have any pictures on your page right now of like a Shakeology shaker cup or like really weird, cheesy, salesy photos, I don't care how many pictures you have on your page, go delete all of those right now. Go delete any picture that you have like with Lift 4, or unless it's like a t-shirt, obviously that's a little bit different. But like any salesy pictures, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I had a lot of them when I first started coaching. I've deleted a lot of them. So if you have any of those, go delete them. All right, so first we are going to look at Casey Donnell. All right, I want you guys to write in the comments things that she should change, and also write things that she's done really well. And you can open her up on your own phone too, but I'm just gonna really slowly scroll. All right. Lighting. Her name is Casey. So yeah, lighting for sure. You guys can tell, like for example, this is what I'm talking about with yellow overtones. How if she took all of the yellow out of that picture, it would look a lot better. But that's a really awesome transformation. Also noticed, see 2 before and after photos right on top of each other and next to each other too. That's a cool picture. That picture's a little bit overexposed. So that's one of those ones, if you had the Lightroom app, you could make your skin not look as white and overexposed, and you can make the background a lot lighter. Also with like videos and pictures with the black bars on the side, you want to get rid of that. So you can just crop it differently. I would not have posted this. It doesn't really match the rest of your photos because remember, you are your brand. Yes, more pictures of her face. That is a really good one. So that's another thing that I've noticed. When somebody comes to your page, they need to know what you look like. So in your profile picture, it needs to be a picture of your face. Don't do something that is like knee length to your head because it's so small that people won't be able to see what you look like. Try to do something that's like shoulders up so people can see what your face looks like. Filters, yeah. So having more consistent filters, and then changing your name to take out the number. I would maybe, I don't know what this is for, or Summer Strong starts August 6th. Okay, so that's your application. So I would change your profile picture to something that's like face on so people can see what your face looks like and not a profile like that. I feel like this picture is a little salesy of like, here's my Energize. And you guys, it's hard. This takes a lot of practice. And that's why I like to see what other coaches are doing to get ideas. Like, how can I highlight my my Shakeology without being like, look, I'm drinking Shakeology. And that's why I noticed, I hope I didn't close it. That's why I pulled up this picture. Where is it? This one. This is Haley Christian. Like, that is a really interesting angle where it's not like, look at me, I'm drinking Shakeology, but she can still talk about her Shakeology. Your dog is really cute. I would also like work on your food pictures and see like, do they do well compared to your other pictures? Like if it's summer, I wouldn't plate anything on a winter plate. So if you want to get better at taking pictures of your food, go search food hashtags and see what are those people doing. When I used to post pictures of my food, I'm not even kidding you, I would take my plate outside where there was really good lighting and take pictures of my food outside. Oh, she explained the winter plate in the caption. Okay. Beth, yeah, white plates for food, because that's also going to give your page more consistency. So if you take food pictures, try to take them similar every single time, whether it's like the same type of background, the same type of plate. Okay. So I think we gave you some good tips. Anything else? So here's another picture. I really like this picture, but again, since the light is in the back, it's a little bit overexposed. And also with Facetune, you could easily get rid of these phone poles with using the patch tool, which is something that's really a really cool tool. Another thing, side note, I would be really careful with is in Facetune, you can blur out your own background, but if you are going to do that, you need to be very, very careful and be very precise. So like zoom in as far as you can and make sure that you are doing it all the right spots. And also you need to pay attention to what it looks like and have a little bit of photography knowledge, because I've seen people blur. When you blur the background, it should be like from a certain point, a certain depth back. So if you blur like everything around you, it doesn't look natural to how it would look if you were actually taking it with a DSLR camera and changing your settings so the background is blurred. Does that make sense? So before you do that, I would teach yourself a little bit more about how to do that correctly. And make sure, like I said, zoom in really close, because you can tell when somebody has like blurred out their picture and did a really crappy job, because it's like it's blurred up until like an inch away from their head and it just looks really bad. Okay. So I think we gave you some good tips here. All right, the next one, Jennifer Sharp. Okay. Ooh, are you pregnant? You're newly pregnant? That's exciting. Okay, so I'll let you guys type some things. Oh, you're not newly pregnant. I just picked some random people. I obviously didn't look too much into it. Lisa says less words. So yeah, I'm like, Challenger Spotlight, protein waffle. Summer Strong. So posting these types of ads like this used to work on Instagram about a year ago, but that's the best way to get people to unfollow you now. So do not post that. Challenger spotlights, that if you're going to spotlight one of your challengers, do that in your story. If you're going to post it in your feed, you would want to have like a picture of you with that person. If people follow you and then you post a random picture of somebody, they have no idea who it is, it's probably not going to do very well. When I post pictures with other people on my page, it doesn't do well unless I am in there with them, or they know who they are. Like, people know who my kids and my husband are, so I can post pictures of them. But less words, too much going on in one picture. Could you explain more what you mean by that? Yeah, the highlights. I was going to say the same thing, Tori. These look really good and very cohesive. One thing that I would also try to stick to is doing no more than 5 highlights, only because when you get to more than 5, people have to swipe to see the rest of them. So you're better off just sticking with 5 so people can see all of them when they're at your page. I would change, although you look beautiful, I would change your profile picture to be a little bit closer, because I cannot tell what you look like from here. And then also your videos, you don't want to have these blurred out on the sides. That's why I say you can use the Pick, Play, Post app to put your video in. You can zoom in a little bit so you don't have that on the sides. The lighting for your photos, take them outside. I know Christy Ritter, I don't know if she's on here, but she has really good food pictures, and she always takes them over like an old picnic table, so it has kind of like a vintagey feel and really good lighting because it's an old picnic table out on her deck. Although you can't tell what the old picnic table looks like because she literally just uses it for the background. Oh, like with the words, okay. Having a little bit more variety. Yeah, so I wouldn't be and like this is the same exact post right here. And then I want you to think, like, if you were scrolling Instagram, would that photo make you stop? Would that photo make you want to read the caption? And would you like that photo? So if you want to say something about the weather, that's something that you would want to post in your story. Like 2 food pictures right next to each other. This one, like I said, it's better to be facing the light when the light is behind you, like this window behind you. It's going to be harder to get the color to look right. So I would go on Amazon and I would invest in a phone tripod. And I would also invest in one of these. It's a Bluetooth clicker. So I turn on the Bluetooth and I can set my phone up and just press this button and it takes a bunch of pictures. A lot of times tripods will come with one of these. So that way I'm not having to like run back and forth and set my timer on my phone a bunch of times. So I would get a tripod and one of these. That way you can put your tripod right by your window and take the picture the other way and have really good lighting coming right at your face. With your before and after photos, I also always try to line them up. So you want to like be zoomed in the same amount and also line up your shoulders or line up your head and make sure your head's about the same size in each picture. So I would have moved this picture up so your head's in the same spot and they're in line with each other. And then like also pictures like this usually do better if you are in the picture somehow. And that's why having a tripod comes in handy. All right, any other tips for Mrs. Jen Sharp? I would put a link in your bio too. That way people have something to click on. Okay, last one. Shannon. mombod_2_boss_babe. Okay, first thing. If I came back and I was trying to find Shannon in 15 minutes, would I be able to remember her screen name? Probably not. But if it was her first and last name, I probably would. And that's another thing when there's like a lot of underscores or a lot of periods, or one thing that drives me crazy is when people spell their name with like the same letter. Like I saw one girl today and her Instagram name was Claudia, but it was like CCCLLAUDDDDD. I'm like, how many D's is that? Like I would never be able to find her ever again. So that's one thing. So when you're thinking of names, think of those things. What are people going to be able to remember and search for? And if somebody just searched for Shannon, how many Shannons do you think are going to come up? Probably 1 million. So if you have a first and last name here or a first and last name here, you're going to be a lot easier to find. The photos are bright. Take the numbers out of the name. Oh, yeah. Avoid collages. Yeah, like these. And also pay for the app or just use a different free app. The Grids app that's by Instagram is free, and you can do the same thing. It says made with Pic Joiner. The first picture of food is really good. Yeah, this is a really good picture. This also has very good lighting, and it looks very appetizing. Like I want to eat that right now. I'm really hungry. But I really like that picture. But you can also tell like the inconsistency in your filters. Also, this looks like the same exact thing right on top of each other. I would not do that. I'd post it one time. Even if you eat it on different days, that's probably another reason why food pictures don't do well on my page, because I literally eat the same thing every single day. If I'm going to post what I'm eating, I do it in my story. I would take this out. It's a cool picture, but you can see to be mindset. Dinner pictures are hard because it's usually darker at night. So I would maybe, if you want to show a picture of your dinner, switch it one day and have it for lunch so you can literally take a picture of it when the lighting is better during the day. But like you have 2 words on top of each other, a random collage in here. You want it to be consistent. I've also found that collages don't do very well in feeds. The only time that I will put pictures side by side is when I'm doing a before and after photo. What about Coach or program shirts? I think that they're fine as long as it's not every single picture. But like I wear a lot of Beachbody shirts. And like 2 quotes next to each other. The lighting on the food isn't very good. I also like these stock photos that you find on Pinterest. I don't think, unless it's you that made it, I don't think you should be posting it on your page. Like you can tell that the lighting on this food picture is a lot better. But there's a lot of food and not a lot of your face. And like this one, it's overexposed. So I would really go do a lot of like, I think a lot of, not just you, but a lot of people need to go to YouTube and really learn how to take better pictures, because Instagram is all about your pictures, you guys. Better consistent lighting. And like I said, when you have Lightroom, you can get your lighting to look more consistent if you learn how to use the app. And when you put different presets on it. All right. Any other advice? Let's see. Starting weight, goal weight. I would actually put a starting weight there if you're going to do that. I can't tell what emoji that is. Mama 4. I like this. And I would also put a link on there as well. And I like your profile picture. I think that that's a really good close-up of your face, but like I said, I would maybe change the lighting because it does look like it's a little bit more yellow. All right. Anything else? And I can't tell what these emojis are. I can never tell on my computer. Okay. If there's no more questions or no more critiques or anything, I hope was this helpful to you guys. Give me some thumbs up if you got a lot of good tips. Yeah, because you want your Instagram to look like, go find somebody who has 1 million followers and get your Instagram to look like that. That's the goal. And don't make it look like But I bet you if I put up 100 Beachbody Instagram profiles, 99 of them would look exactly the same. You want yours to look different. And how you're going to stand out is is like your variety of pictures. That's literally it. And having a consistent Instagram theme with editing. Like it is all about taking pictures and editing. So if you don't know how to do that, go learn how to do that. Jenna's like, I need to redo mine. Squiggle. All right. I see Samantha laughing. I don't even see where Jenna is. There's too many people. All right, you guys. Jess, do you have anything to say? Anything to add?
That was really good information. I felt like I kind of knew Instagram, but now I know nothing. So I learned a lot tonight. So I know that like if anyone's like me, my mind's blown and I'm like, okay, let's get off of here so I can go do Lightroom.
I told you I was going to blow your mind. So if you guys want to do different, I think that your Instagram needs to be on point if you want your business to do well. Like it is all about Instagram now. And the more followers you have, the easier it is to sell challenge packs, especially if you have good content. I can't give you all of my knowledge right now because there's so much, but like if I were to do any other calls, if you guys were interested, like specifically how I do my content planning, like how I know what's going to be a breadcrumb post, what's going to be a story, what's going to be engagement, like I have a system for that.
Would you be up for doing a Lightroom, like showing us how you use that program?
Yeah.
Like tomorrow?
If you guys want, I can show you.
Kidding, but not really kidding. I would love it. I mean, I just downloaded it and I bought a bunch of presets and now I'm just like, oh, what the hell am I doing here?
If you don't mind my slow computer, if anyone wants to stay on, I can do a little bit right now.
I'll stay on.
Okay.
My family doesn't need dinner.
My daughter's having her very first sleepover tonight. She has a friend over. It's so cute.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever the female equivalent is to bromance, that is what she is in with this. They're so adorable. Okay. Oh, I think everybody got kicked off. Did you end the recording?
No, it's still going.
Oh, why is it telling me to sign into Zoom? Okay.
I have no idea.
And then another thing, I don't know if it's just my really old slow computer, but a lot of times like my photo editing programs take longer to load. And then another really cool thing with Lightroom is you can make your own presets. So like you can go, like if you don't want to buy any presets, you can go to YouTube and like see how somebody edits their photos and you can make all of those edits to a photo and save that preset. So what I've done is like, I downloaded that pack, but I found myself changing the same exact things every single time. So I just saved it as a new preset. Because like
you save as many as you want?
I think so.
And do you, I think you said this earlier, but I was not paying attention. I was on Etsy. Do you do this mainly on your computer or your phone?
My phone.
Okay.
But I'm going to show you on a computer. Does somebody want to send me a picture and I'll just edit it?
So how long does it take you with a preset to actually have the perfect photo?
A minute.
Seriously?
But the first time, like when
it takes me way longer.
When I was I'm not gonna lie, when I was learning how to do it and figuring out what I wanted my pictures to look like, I probably spent like 2 or 3 hours, like in saving a bunch of different copies and like, oh, I like this edit better than this one. But now that I have my preset down, I can edit all of my pictures in a minute.
I'm just gonna have to get a babysitter just so I can edit some pictures.
Well, but like I do it like when I'm watching TV, I'll just like practice. And I was also learning how to use the program. Like nobody's going to be an expert at Lightroom the first time you use it. I had to learn how to use it, and that's part of this business. And that's why my profile looks good, because I spend that time learning how to do it. Okay, Jess sent me a photo.
You want me to send you a few so you can choose?
No, I'll just do this one that you sent me. That is a really cute top.
Fabletics.
Does it have a built-in bra?
Yes, but it's super like, it's too big for me. But I feel like it could be easily cut out if you didn't want it.
Oh.
But it's nice, actually. I like built-in bras, but.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. It might take a second. I just downloaded it to my phone, so it might take a second to sync everything up.
How did you choose what you wanted your feed to look like? I think that's my thing is like I am drawn to like the bright white pictures, but I oftentimes like to oversaturate my pictures, like to brighten the colors. But when I look at feeds, like I love the.
Can you take a screenshot of a feed that you like? Do you have one in mind? And I'll do your picture that way. Or you just like bright white with bright colors? Is that what you like?
I love your feed. Like I love how yours are so like bright. Like the white comes through. Like mine, just like you were saying, like my walls are like
beige.
Well, you can see in the picture.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna show you just a few of the basic things that I do. So I'll show. Okay, so do you want me to show you with one of my presets, or do you want me to kind of just show you the things that I would like if you were to
both?
Okay, so I will just, like, if I were just gonna do your photo, so I don't really use this on my computer a lot, so I might not, it might take me a while. So exposure is, like, if I were to do that to get it brighter, do you see how washed out your face is?
Yep.
So I wouldn't do that. So the very first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the color, and you can click on the color mixer. I'm gonna go to yellows. That's way too much. But I can go.
I have gray hair.
But like, I don't know how white you like your hair to look, but you can do that. And then if you change this is also going to make the yellows a little bit brighter. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So like you can change, and I play around with this with my skin. So like if your hair is too white for you, like if you like it right there, or you want it to look a little darker or a little brighter. So this is literally just changing the yellows of the photo. And what I do when I'm learning how to use an app, or like when I'm learning how to use Lightroom, I will do like drastic changes to see, okay, what part of the photo is this changing? So like if I did the saturation all the way up, I can see that this is only adjusting her hair and the walls. It's not adjusting anything else. So let's do like right there, and that's going to make it brighter. And then the orange, if I go to orange, or you can also change the hue. So like that's more pink. You would actually look really cute with some pink hair.
Yeah, now I don't even have to dye my hair. I can just put it in.
Yeah, exactly. So oranges is going to be your skin. So usually if you want your skin to like look more tan, I would take the saturation down a little bit and then the luminance down, where this is like makes it brighter. Do you see that?
Yeah.
But if you do this down and like this way up, then you're going to look too orange. So this, like when I said it took me 2 hours to learn how to do this, these are all of the things I was playing around with. So I knew in the future, okay, I know I want my skin to look this way, so I'm going to change this in my photos. So if you want to look, like I think that tan looks good. I think I might even take out a little bit more of the yellow. And then you can also, I'll show you another thing. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the, I don't know how to do this on the computer. They're usually like, on your phone, if you tap down on the picture, it will show you the before.
Oh, yeah.
After. I don't know how to do this on here. Okay, so let's go to the light. So that obviously makes you look too washed out, but if you want the whites to pop, you can go over here to the whites, and you can make the whites brighter or darker, and the same with the blacks. So like look at your pants. So let's see. And like sometimes as I make certain changes, I have to go back and change other things. Like if I wanted to increase the exposure and then I'm like, oh, but that makes your hair look too white, I'm going to go back to the yellows and I'm going to change that a little bit and make it a little darker. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then highlights, that changes, like you can see what that changes. And then, so those are just like basic, these are like the basic things that I mess with is the color and then the light. And then you can also change, like, this is a little bit more advanced, but you can change the tones of certain colors. If you are a beginner, this might be too much for you. But like you can change, I took a photography class before, so I know a little bit more. Like you can change the tone of the picture using that. But if you're a beginner, I would not use that. Okay, and then this is just goes back. So let's go back to the beginning. And this is all of the changes we made. Okay, whoops. Where'd you go? Okay, so now my presets, where are they? Oh, they're right here, behind everyone's picture. Okay, these ones are my preset. Garage light. I named it garage light because I noticed I edited my photos the same way when I stood by my garage. Okay, so this is the preset pack that I got. And you can see like they look a little bit different. It's like for this one, I kind of like that. So one thing that I noticed on this preset that I do not like is it looks really grainy. And that is in the effects, I believe. Where is the greens? Right here. So I'm going to take all of that out. Okay, so I think that this is a little too overexposed. So I'm going to go back to the light. I'm going to take the exposure down a little bit. I think your skin also looks a little orange. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to colors, find the orange, and you can see it's already adjusted because the preset is made that way. So I'm going to take the saturation out a little bit and maybe make you a little bit more tan. And I think it looks a little green. So that, I'm going to take out all of the greens. The colors in your shirt don't pop. What color is your shirt? Purples?
Yeah, purples and teals.
So like if you go to the purples, okay, so there's not a lot of, I don't know what
it's probably more of the blues than the purples.
So like if you bring up the saturation, like is your cup purple?
No, it's teal.
Okay, maybe it's this one.
That one, yeah.
Yeah, do you see how that's changing? And also like, let's say you wanted to take the saturation up and like make it more green or make it more blue. You can do that. It's a little bit, I think it's a little bit easier to do it on your phone.
Do you find that like you can find, like even if you make your own, like do you find that you can actually apply it to multiple pictures?
Yeah, so what I do is like all of my pictures down here, they all have one of these presets, but I changed a couple of things. Like before I figured out I was like, why does this look so grainy? I didn't realize that the grains were on. And so I would have done it like that.
Okay.
But like all of these have a preset with like a little bit of tweaks made to it. Like this one, I wanted the original preset, my lipstick looked orange. And so I went to the colors and I went to I think it was the reds, and I changed the hue. Like, I think it looked like that. I changed it so it looked more pink.
And that's so crazy that you can do that on pictures and that it'll find just like certain colors.
Yeah. And before, what I was doing in Facetune was I would go to Facetune and I would always take the saturation out of my hair because I'm like, my hair looks so yellow in all of these pictures. And then with this, like, this is what my hair looked like. Like I wanted it to look like this. And like I said, I could do that in literally a second. I can take all of the yellow out of my picture. And like this one, let me show you what the lighting looked like before. Do you see how yellow that is? I just take all of it out. And then I changed my skin color too. Like,
Please post it like that.
Yeah, no, never. But like if I want to make myself look really tan or black or orange or whatever color, green, pink, I can do that. I don't want this to save like that. Like like I said, it took me so long to learn how to use it because I was playing around with all of these things, and I'm still getting better as I go. And then you'll see, like if you take your, I have this other app that I use called, like you can use really any app like VSCO Cam, or it's called Preview. And I just upload my pictures to it so I can see what it looks like as a whole with everything edited. Because sometimes I'll edit a photo and I'll add it here and I'm like, oh, that doesn't look like the rest of them. It looks too pink. I need to take the pink out. So I'll go back to my editing app, take some of the pink out, and then I will go back here and change it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So let's do like
I feel like the hardest part is going to be figuring out what you want your feed to look like.
I know. So that was really hard for me because I'm like,
a really big commitment.
I know. I'm like, I like all of these feeds so much. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to pick something and go with it for a little bit. And then if I want to change it later, I'll change it later. Because as you scroll people's feeds, like you can see that their theme changes. And like some people even change their theme with the seasons. And I was thinking, okay, maybe I'll do that. Maybe when it's fall, I won't do as like, I'll do more like, I love Ashley Smith's theme, but my pictures are way brighter than hers. So maybe in the fall, since it's naturally darker, maybe I won't do my pictures as bright. Maybe I will just take the exposure down and do more like that. See, when I take the exposure down, do you see what it does to my skin? So then I would come back here and make my skin look different. I probably would do a little brighter, a little less saturation. Like you can just play around with it to see what looks good. And it looks a little yellow to me. Like you can see, you can easily make some changes.
Mm-hmm.
And like my shorts look like kind of a weird color. Maybe I want to do more blues. Like if you see somebody who has like if they have pink in all of their pictures, I bet you what they do is they probably turn up the saturation for everything pink in their pictures, and that's going to make pink pop in every single one of your pictures. So like Samantha, if you were going to do black and whites, you would go to the lighting and you would probably make the blacks really, really black and like the whites really, really white. And you can like you have to play around with it to kind of see what works. And like you could turn your and that's the one thing I like about this is if I wanted to make something really black before, I would always have to turn my contrast up and it would make the rest of the picture look weird. But with this, like you can get the black to look really black by just changing the blacks. That's why this app is really freaking amazing. All right.
Okay, so like for Ashley Smith, what do you think she's doing for her pictures? Like I love her feed.
I messaged her and I asked her.
What is she doing?
She uses Lightroom. I don't know what filter she uses. But if I sat down for a little bit, I could probably figure it out. But you can tell like she makes her greens look a little bit more blue. Like I don't have this picture has green in it. So I'm guessing what she does is she probably has a preset. And her greens are probably like you change the hue of it. Do you see?
Yes, that's exactly what hers is looking like.
Exactly. And I think hers, the oranges are a little bit more saturated.
Yep.
And it's not as bright. It looks more like that.
Yeah, kind of.
Except probably not as orange, but you guys get the point.
Yeah.
My daughter looks so tan. So when I edit my pictures, I always edit in Facetune first to like fix like blemishes and stuff, and then I will go in here. And like, I actually put makeup on her. She wanted me to put makeup on her. So I put mascara, which is why her eyes look really pretty, but they're like really light blue anyway. But like this picture, when I dyed my hair pink and I changed the oranges, it made my hair look weird. So I went in and you can do selective edits. I don't know where it's at. Is this it? I think this is it. But you can do like selective edits and like, so for example, if I wanted to, I'm not that good at this part right now. I would have to go figure out how to do this a little bit better. But I basically like painted over my hair and I took the temperature down. So it looked more pink. I don't know what it's changing right now. But you can like selectively change things about a picture. Like if you want like one thing really saturated, you can go in here and like paint over it. The only thing I would suggest is like make sure that you are way zoomed in to whatever you're doing. And so it looks really precise, because people can tell when you do a crappy job editing your pictures. All right. So that's like an intro to Lightroom.
That was helpful.
It's like really awesome. I would highly recommend just like playing around with it, even if you're not going to use the pictures. Like play around, put some of your presets on and like just play around with it, and go to YouTube and like if you literally type in how to make myself look more tan in Lightroom, it's going to show you like just that one specific thing. Or like how to make my background white in Lightroom. It's going to show you how to do it.
All right. We got a lot of work to do, ladies.
But good tips, right? On how
Yes.
to make your Instagram look like a 1 million follower Instagram.
Yes, because I've been using Snapseed, which I like, but you have to like brush over things, and then I find like it doesn't look smooth. Whereas with that, it's like it does it for you. It picks the colors, it takes them out, like rather than like you having to draw it on there, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Once you learn how to use it, it's a lot faster too. Like I was going in and taking all of the saturation out of my backgrounds and walls, and like I would have to get really precise and like, yeah.
You don't want to touch your skin, because then it like, yeah.
It took forever. So in my opinion, this is well worth the $10 a month that you pay for it.
I already bought it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, you guys. I hope you have some good takeaways.
Yes. Thank you so much for your time tonight, Natasha.
Yeah. All right. Bye, guys.
Okay. See you guys.